name. This that CSZ gang. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55, what's goody? Kill the vibe, how could it? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. The mother shows spread fake news. We just call them broadcast. West, Joey, Sam, Shawn, Dalton. Ain't you know that boy Higgy? He said he don't want no small fries. Tell them they better make them biggie. Yeah, you already know what we be on. We got the crown, we hold the throne. We throw the mails and you take them home. When they ring the bells, you know that it's home. The bar set, we setting the tone. If we set it, then set it in stone. Sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
What is up? Good morning, everybody. Coming to you early on a Sunday. Well, y'all said y'all wanted to watch your NFL games at 1, so we're going to try to appease you, give y'all a – I didn't realize we were the official NFL pregame show, but we are today. Coming to you live from the Fitness Market Studios North. Once again, maybe one of these days, these people are going to come fix my basement. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wildman, here today with a plethora of supporting cast members. This is not like the last two where only Shawn or Higgy, which, by the way, I'm sorry that it was only Shawn or Higgy showed up. But we got the I think you should be wearing your T-shirt during the show so people can see that you are the 6-star red chipper. No, not gonna work. All right, Dalton Pence, everybody.
What's going on?
We've got our women's basketball beat writer, our football beat writer, our club beat writer, whatever you want to call him. He's a specialist at that. It's Mr. Sam Bazin. Sam.
What up? What up?
And last but not least, it's Mr. Graceful. It is the man who put he's the reason we won yesterday. He puts the Virgin in Virginia. He is Shawn Barber.
How's it going?
How that guy I can't stand his you mother. Yeah, I got a bleep button. I was bored this morning. I did that. Shawn, real quick, can you well, no, let me get through this first part. Chat line is obviously open. Y'all are already blowing
Shawn
it up.
did get a haircut. Yes, he did.
Shawn did get a haircut. I'll get to the chat line in a sec. I forgot to pull it up, so it's like you've got 32 new messages. I'm like, Jesus. Again, as always, to support the podcast, there's our Cash App, our Venmo, and our PayPal. I realized that was backwards, but the camera's backwards. And then next to that are our socials. You want to follow us on any of the sites, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all there, right there. Dude, Shawn, now, can you tell everybody what happened to you on Thursday? Was it Thursday?
Yeah, it was Thursday.
There's a reason for this. So I'm not doing this just to embarrass you because you're clumsy. There's a what we call in the business a transition that's going to occur. So tell everybody what you got into. Well, did you get into it or did you get out of it? Not sure. Tell what happened.
So I was on my way into work on Thursday morning. I was trying to cross the street to get in. They're doing construction on 3rd and Liberty. And so not 3rd and Liberty, 3rd and Muhammad Ali. So I'm going to try to figure out how to get into work without getting hit by a car. I think, okay, I'll kind of cross behind the construction signs, but they're not really there, so I can kind of get around them as long as I stay close to them and get into work without getting hit by a car.
This is great radio, by the way. Keep prolonging the story.
Once I do that, I'm crossing, and of course the construction signs, they got real long like stanchions or whatever you want to call them, whatever keeps the things that holds them up. I tripped over one of them and I fell, and I cut my hand up pretty badly, and I bruised my ribs pretty badly. I go into work, and I didn't realize how bad I was bleeding. I bled all over the floor. and they're like, they bring out the mop.
I didn't know.
They're trying to get me to stop bleeding. Finally, they're like, okay, you got to go to the doctor. So I had to have a coworker take me to the doctor because I couldn't drive. And Yeah, so that was my Thursday, and I came home, and I've been off the last 2 days, resting up as best I can.
I think you need to fall more often, Shawn. I think it's giving you a more rugged appearance. I think the scars make you, make you look more like a man.
Chicks
So
dig scars, man.
yeah. And I think I'm having some sympathy pains for you because about Wednesday, I think I had preceding sympathy pains because I woke up Wednesday, didn't do anything, just woke up, and my left rib cage has just been on fire ever since. So I've been having some sort of. I'm glad I don't have any other of your sympathy pains, aka, for example, below the belt pains. But everything else, I'm trying to, support my teammate. It is what it is. Just and look. So and Sam and Shawn can attest to this, and we'll get to the chat line, then we'll get the show started. We know y'all didn't tune in to hear us joke on Shawn, or maybe you did. If you did, let me know. We'll keep doing it. But so we were sitting here watching wrestling last night, the wrestling pay-per-view. I know Dalton don't watch it, but me and Shawn and Sam and Joey were watching the wrestling pay-per-view last night. It was an awesome night. We had a great time. The card was phenomenal overall. And once again, I had problems with my DoorDash order. So for the first hour that Shawn and Sam and Joey were there, I was on the phone with the supervisor that was helping me out somehow. We weren't really sure what she was doing. It took her an hour just to credit me my money back. But I was feeling so inspired because Shawn was able to pick himself up off the ground, literally, and come over to watch wrestling with us. Man, I hollered at the supervisor for Shawn. I was like, hey, it's like, can my friend Shawn get your number? To which she responded, have a nice day. Thank you for calling. And that was the end of the call. So I tried. Look, I need to go back to the captions. Where's my get Shawn a date caption? Here you go. If you know a female that's 28 to 38 or higher and not a blow-up doll and she's single, please help us get Shawn a date. I'll leave that on the bottom for a little while. No,
I think you should do that 30 to 45.
Girl, are you breathing? Are you not operated by batteries or a industrial compressor?
Sir, this
you
is
may
a
be for
Wendy's.
Shawn. All right, let's get to the text line real quick. Rito says, yes, sir, we're back. Shawn Thomas owes me and Joey money for something. I'm not really sure what for. Master Yoda in the house as always. We appreciate your support. Mike Puckett told me yesterday, even though I didn't talk to him yesterday, that today was going to be a good day, or yesterday was going to be a good day. Let's see. Yoda, what up? What's good? 55. What's up? What's up, Q? Shawn got a haircut. Yes. Predictions for the rest of the season, Caleb. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Giants looking good this morning. I don't know. I don't watch. I try to keep my subpar football watching to the NCAA side. Dalton, can you help Jeremy with the starting lineup? He need help. You're a guy that can help him. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what you even said right there. I don't need help with anything.
What in the world does that mean?
I don't know.
I think
Shawn,
when you introducing us, I think that's what he's talking about when you introducing us.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he wants Dalton to do the starting lineup. Okay. No. It makes Shawn says that your haircut makes you look like Trevor from Grand Theft Auto. And I cannot not see that.
1000% agree.
The honorary Oos is here.
My man's
Tom,
out here
what's
stealing
good?
boats.
Caleb, glad to actually be live with us, man. I'm glad to have all y'all here.
Why
We're
is
gonna
Sam
get
on
to
the
show.
bottom? Why am I a little cube up at the top?
I don't know. I don't know why it splits things up the way it does, but it do what it do. So, shout out to my guy Monty Montgomery, texting me this morning with all kinds of love, and I understood half the words I didn't understand, but I knew at the end of the day it was all love. So shout out to him, and shout out to our guy. Look, Monty and Brock, honorary CSZ site members. We did promote their sponsor their camp this summer, and we've grown really close with them over the last few months. Really glad to see them both excel let's get into it. 34-17 win yesterday versus Virginia. Now, as always, I'm going to read y'all all my thoughts in real time as I was watching the game. They may not all be in order or anything because that's just not how I do it. I just, okay. And then you all can add what you want to after that. So I did notice that it was the first. This is a indictment almost, but it is just, I cannot believe this is true. But this was the first time under Coach Scott Satterfield that we were down 7 points or more and came back to win. I'm just glad it didn't end up the way that the Virginia game did last year when I was right before I broke my ankle. That was a very painful day in more than one way. But yeah, first time under Satt, we were down 7 or more, came back to win. We do lead the ACC in sacks per game. We had 6 yesterday, 8 tackles for loss, allowed 6 rushing yards. Shawn would know about this, but we did get a lot of penetration yesterday. We held Virginia to 3 for 12 on 3rd down, 1 out of 3 on 4th down. We gave up a rushing touchdown to the chick from Wendy's with 7 minutes left, and they did not score again after that. We allowed 149 yards total in the first quarter and 170 the rest of the way. We forced 3 turnovers. I think we forced 3 last week as well. A 20-0 run gave us the 20-10 lead before the chick from Wendy's did hurl himself from the 5 for no reason into the end zone. Brock threw the ball he threw the slant really well. He had some trouble with his deep passes, but he threw the slant really well all game, except for the first quarter. And again, let's go ahead and quantify this. Brock had not played more than 2 series the entire season. Anytime that you're a quarterback or a pitcher or a point guard, sometimes it takes you a while to get going. He probably, I don't know this to be true, but he probably played more minutes yesterday than he had in his entire Louisville career combined. That wouldn't shock me if Real Card Game, Kelly Dickey told us that was the case. Again, he missed some guys on some longer passes, but he made up for it. He did throw 2 picks. It really hurt my heart to see A.J. Johnson throw the L's down. Douche. But you know what? He got to throw his L's down and dance and lose by 17. So congrats. The red zone offense did sputter a little bit. We left some points out there on field goals, but Brock made excellent decisions to throw the ball away in the end zone where maybe I don't know that that would occur with Malik. I'm not saying Malik would make bad passes, but I think he might try to run for him there. But I'm going to give Brock his flowers, even though this was against the butt water of the ACC. He did make great decisions. Brock threw for the most passing yards in the game this season. He was 17 for 30 with 275 yards passing. You got Marshawn more involved. That hitch route touchdown was just beautiful. It was Brock's first career touchdown pass for Louisville. I love to see Quincy Riley playing more. I liked how they kept. I didn't like, and we'll talk about that in a second. No, you know what? We'll just wait to talk about that. I liked how they kept going to the sideline and showing Deion Branch, and then other coaches just like, even when Brock made the interception, I think it was Satt came up to him and was patting him up. All right, we'll get him the next time. It is what it is. He went out there and did throw that interception, but Jarvis came right back. And, a guy that's been picked on all year, maybe rightfully so or not, came and he got that pick. So here's been my maybe we should wait to talk about this to the end. Yeah, I'll put a pin in Lance Taylor. We'll talk about Lance Taylor after we get done with everything else. Oh, never mind. This was the end. Also, so let's get into the negative a little bit. We talked about all the positives of my points. And then again, absolutely, Brian, Ben Souders was absolute energy all the way up and down the line yesterday. Him and Pete and Dion are must retains for the next staff if we don't win 7 games. Dalton, do you have something you want to share with the rest of the class? I'm just kidding. So my biggest pet peeve from yesterday, and it was the announcers, it was people on Twitter, and then I would tell them that's not the case. And they Lance Taylor, what terrifically called game by Lance Taylor. Lance Taylor. Look, Lance Taylor may be a guru on the offensive side. We don't know. We have no idea. We haven't seen him call. And when I said that during the game, I had 150 people. You don't know what you're talking about. Lance is down there with the card on the sidelines pointing at stuff. Well, no. Like, you think that he wasn't told to sit down there and look pretty for the TV? And then after the game, so I was like, I can't really tell them how I know he didn't call the plays. So I'll just sit here and be quiet. I'll chill in the cut. And then the press conference, his opening statements were something I'm going to paraphrase here, but it was like, I called the bad plays in the first quarter, but I also called all the good plays in the last 3 quarters. And it's like, why would you throw this dude under the bus? I mean, I know I kind of was inadvertently, but that gets me to another point. We had a reader, respect him. It is what it is. That was questioning our predictions on Friday. I let the team know, I think it was late Thursday night, that Malik was going to be out for the game. So I didn't want them to look stupid in their predictions, which Higgy still did somehow. And this guy was just all over us on Friday and yesterday. It was like, man, why don't I see it reported anywhere else? Well, look, there's a couple reasons we didn't report it. First off, we didn't want to go out and make a big deal out of it because we didn't want to tip Virginia off. I think that some of that had to do with the element of surprise yesterday. Brock is, again, I said before the game yesterday, Brock had the potential to have a Mike Watkins versus Army type game, a Teddy Bridgewater versus Kentucky, let's go down the road type game, a Lamar versus, and what I mean is impact, not like he rushed for 1 billion yards and stuff, but he had an opportunity to put himself in the folklore. Kyle Boland versus a team down the road. He came in, took over for Reggie, I believe, who got hurt. And Reggie was, who did Reggie come in for? Reggie was not the normal starter, was he?
Against Notre Dame?
No, versus Lexington. Was Will Gardner not the starter and he got hurt? That's what it was.
He was.
Okay. So Kyle came in as the third string quarterback and absolutely just ate everybody up. So with that being said, I knew that was a possibility, but I like Lance Taylor. I think he can make a difference here. I hope they let him. I then had to hear the whole, man, Satt really helped out on defense. No, this was the complete water of the ACC defensively. Me and Sam and Dalton and Higgy and Shawn could go out and score on Virginia. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm pretty good, but the rest of them, I don't really know. If you throw a ho-ho down, maybe Higgy will run to the end zone. I'm not sure. But, again, I've been very, very open about sharing what I can and what I can't. But I was told that Satt had nothing to do with the defense this week. So I don't know why he can't. And he made himself look stupid because he went in the press conference and told everybody he was giving up the offensive control and going to help with defense. And then in the presser after the game, he said, no, it was all me. Forget Lance Taylor. So it is what it is. I think we should be elated. And here's this may be and here's what we'll do. I'm going to hit this last point because it is all I have on this. I'm going to go to the chat line, catch it up. Then I'm going to get y'all's opinion. But this is going to be my most unpopular thing I say today. And I think, Shawn, you're going to agree with me. I don't know about everybody else. I think we played a very similar defensive game this week as we did last week. The only difference is it was almost like Virginia was Shawn and the football was females. Like, I mean, that's exactly what it looked like. All right, let's get back to the text board. Brian says, okay, I read that one. How about them Gamecocks? Look, Q, I don't really mess with any kind of those, let alone game. So I don't know. You know, I'm a different type of cat, apparently. Apparently, people that are 30 and younger watch that team down the road play football. I don't care what they do. I don't care if they win, lose, die in a fiery bus crash. give Shawn herpes. I don't care. Whatever it is, I don't watch their games. I don't look. Even last night, Shawn was like, the blue team lost. I was like, I'm watching wrestling. I don't care what they did. Congrats to Brock, says Dondi. Mike's laughing at me. Absolutely. Yoda says, I hope they lose in every. I do hope they lose every game in all sports, but I'm not sitting there like scoreboard watching like a lot of people do. The announcers were awful. I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't write that down. The play in mind. So, and I asked Brock about it this morning. So there was the play where Brock goes to hand the ball to Jordan. I believe it was Jordan. It may have been Cooley. And he can tell immediately. And their entire defense swarmed in and surrounded him. And Brock pulls it out and runs to the end zone. The second that they put the football in Jordan's bread basket, the announcers are like, whoa, they got stuffed. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute. And they see that. And I asked him, because that's something else that, oh, Brock's a dual threat. That was a design play. No, it wasn't a design play. I asked him this morning. He confirmed it was not a design play. Shawn, didn't I tell y'all that it wasn't a design play last night? And Sam was like, that looked apparent. No, it wasn't. It was not a design.
What?
Last night we were talking about it during the pay-per-view, and I said that was not that was a broken play, and you were like, it looked like it was a
read option.
Yeah, right. And it was not to call you. Look, I call everybody else out. You just take the one call out and keep it moving. Brian says Kyle Bolin was told one thing: get the ball to Devontae Parker for sure. Absolutely. Hit the like button, subscribe, stalk, whatever it is. Wayne says, do you like Tom Herman as our head coach? No. Wes said it hurt seeing Anthony Johnson throw the L's down at us. Well, guess what? Throw an L's down, catch a ass whooping. Oh, crap. I mean, catch a whooping. I said the real words that time. Fabian said, once Brock settled down, I liked what I saw. Absolutely. I thought, and I told people, let him get comfortable. And thankfully, they couldn't catch. And it was just a 10-0 deficit. But I do think that, as far as I was saying earlier, and then I'm going to turn it over to you all, I feel like defensively this could have very easily, if they could catch the ball, have been a 34-33 shootout or a 35-34 loss. I've liked the offense all year long. I've liked the front seven all year long. It's just been the secondary that has let us down defensively. And I say that to say this: the coaching of the secondary has let us down, because Quincy Riley should have been playing a whole lot more this whole time. There's no need every game we've got to see a 6'5" guy being guarded by a 5'8" guy. It's ignorance. So, all right, Sam, we'll go to you first because I just kind of picked on you a little bit, and I want to hear what you have to say because you're normally against everything I say. So I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay, where do I start?
Anywhere. Just
all right. Let's start with Satterfield. I don't trust him. I think he needs to go, and I'll tell you 2 reasons why. I told Shawn. Okay.
No. I was talking about the game. We'll talk about the coach.
No. Oh, so what I like about the game?
Yeah. Well, you're what you like, what you didn't like. That I didn't mention. Or if
okay.
You can bring it up too. It don't matter.
I like the fact that Lance Taylor had some input in the game plan and in the plays that were called. I do like that. When it comes to on the defensive side of the ball, I don't know what it is, but we always start off behind the 8 ball or underneath the 8 ball, whatever the case may be. Every game, it seems like the opposing offense comes down the field and scores on their first 2 drives. And then we find a way to get into it and make the adjustments. I would like to see that from the first snap of the ball on defense. But other than that, like I said, the defense did pretty well. UVA did drop some passes, but a lot of those drops were because the passes were off target because they got pressure on the QB. So he had to rush the throw.
I knew you were going to try to argue with me.
But I mean, you can look at it. Some of the throws were behind the receiver and things like that. Some of them were kind of tough. and it's because he was rushed. But they do lead the ACC in drop passes, so that's in their DNA, regardless of who they're playing. I had a feeling that probably was going to take impact on the game, and it did. But other than that, I'm just waiting to see what we do, how we can combine what we did today, uh, work on it over the bye week, and improve on some things, and then go into the next game.
People absolutely lost their minds against me on Twitter last night, and I'm very thankful for the win. And I do games like that where you can sit and appreciate the whole game because there's no pressure to the game. I see somebody say something about on the chat line that Satt needs to go. Look, 7. If he does not win 7 games, he's not being retained. I'm telling you all that. I've been told that by multiple people. Is there a road to 7? We'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But do we really think that Taylor has had no say in the offense all year, though? Yes, Michael. And just trust me. I don't want to lose my sources, but he is not. The first 3 games, his headset wasn't even plugged in. Like, get out of here. You could see that it is what it is. River City Entertainment wants to know, does Malik start against Pitt? Absolutely not. And again, people lost their sit Malik. Malik's suck. Malik's cheeks. Don't play him. Start Brock the rest of the way. Look, Brock was very, very good against a slow, not a very slow and not good Virginia front 7. But we got Wake, and we got NC State, and we got Clemson. Those are all the teams that are left on our schedule that are even worth a piss. I didn't miss anybody. We've got James Madison. We've got Pittsburgh. I think that's all the teams we played this year that I'm going to say. But James Madison may be the only game left this year that we could – and that's not Brock's fault. I'm not blaming it on Brock. I'm just saying that team yesterday was complete, as the kids say these days. They were cheeks. And there's no need to – could Brock beat Pittsburgh? Maybe. I don't think Pittsburgh's very good. We have to stop the – Shawn, you were telling me what did their Pittsburgh's running back run for yesterday? Like
300 and some odd yard. I don't mean exact amount. Over 300 yards and 6 touchdowns.
And that might be beneficial to us because if he thinks he can run on our front 7 is going to not allow 300 yards rushing. I tell you that. We're top 15 in defensive efficiency. The only part that our defense, even when you put it in the computers and stuff, they only sour against our secondary. We're very, very, again, we lead the ACC in sacks. Tackles for loss, we're pretty close to the top of the list. So I don't know, but no, Malik should not start, or Malik should start against Pitt. But now we know if we need Brock again, he's going to be able to go in there with some confidence and be like, look, I beat Virginia. I can do a little something against these other teams. R.L. Holt says, what's up, family? Bring on Bama, Alabama A&M, that is. Wes says, there's no hope for this defense with Brown at D.C. Quincy needs to be in the game. And he was yesterday, and I was happy with that. Wes Keys says, what's up, CSZ family? MJ Griffin needs more clock, too. We'll talk about MJ in a second as well. Fabian, a second that Satterfield still got to go. He lied about saying Lance would call plays, but says he didn't. We already read Mike Puckett's. We don't care about what he has to say anyway. Fabian says Malik's still the guy. He just needs to give the ball up on runs more to the running back. Fabian, the Virginia team was terrible. 320 yards, Brian McGlasson said. I guess the
running back.
So yeah, Dalton, what about you? The game yesterday, any kind of thoughts, comments?
I mean, there's not many new things to say that you all haven't already covered. I mean, I think it was a game in which, look, I mean, you were supposed to win, just like you were supposed to win last week. You handled business. I liked what I saw from Brock here and there. It truly is Brocktoberfest, as I saw on the ACC Network Twitter page.
Jeez. Sorry.
But no, I've been impressed with the play in the trenches. I think the offensive line has really come into its own recently. Really ever since that Syracuse game. Defensive line has looked solid. I saw somebody tweet out today, I forget who it was, that Louisville, I think, is like 5th in the nation in sacks or something like that, or something
Well,
along
we're
that
first in
line.
the ACC. We probably got to be pretty close to top 10 in the nation overall.
Yeah, so I mean, it's nice to see, more pressure being dialed up, and then guys on the edge really start to come home and get after the opposing quarterback. But I mean, it is what it is. I'm trying not to overanalyze this win because I think it's like a South Florida type win, win that you were supposed to get against a pretty bad team. So try not to look too much more into that. Go into the bye week. Hopefully, you continue to get guys healthy and try to pull off an improbable run in the second half.
Wayne, what's good, my man? Appreciate you tuning in. Steven C says Pittsburgh's running back could be a big problem with our defense. 304 yards, 6 touchdowns. Who did they play yesterday?
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Okay. They are the last place team in the ACC. Virginia may be the worst team in the ACC, but by the overall standings, Virginia Tech's the worst. I'm not taking that with a grain of salt. If you think that guy is going to be a problem against our front seven, then maybe you should never try to analyze athletes ever again. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to be mean. Brian says Malik's athleticism versus Brock's distribution, which one hurts Pitt more? Malik's athleticism 100%, because Brock was able to get short pass very well between 1 and 10 yards. But those guys weren't defending the ball. There were very little plays that we caught balls on, giggity, that there was anybody that was seriously now within a yard or so. Cool. But I rewatched the game before we went on the air, and I didn't get to finish it. I'm still we're up 20-7 or 27-17 right now in the third. But those are going to be faster, better quality athletes on the field the next game. So Malik. The 5 greatest quarterbacks of this season. It's Dylan. No, it's Malik, because he spits hot fire. West and Wayne says we can stop all the speculation. There will definitely be a new head. Look, I'm at 96% with that because there is, and again, we'll go through that in a minute. There's a road to 7 wins, and I'll tell you why there's a road. Demontre, what's up, Demontre? My guy. I'm late, but Doman looked good yesterday. Demontre, if you were the quarterback yesterday, we'd have had the same result. It just wasn't a good. It sounds like I'm not trying to degrade what Brock did. It's just that was not a good Virginia defense. Louisville leads the nation in sack yardage and 5th in the nation in sacks. Okay, well, 5th in the nation, and we lead the ACC in sacks. Our Holt, if we don't. Trevor always does that. He tries to give me information quoted by somebody else, and I'm like, let's do the work ourselves. I don't want to quote nobody else. RL Holt, if we don't have the speed at wide receiver to get open deep, then we need to use the short passing game, which I think Satt prefer. That's the App State way, right? However, he was still able to hit his receiver. He had a lot. Yes and no. Didn't throw the ball deep well. Both times. He had the one touchdown he overthrew. Then he had the 2 picks that were. He was not good, I would say, over 11 yards, and that may or may not have been his fault. I mean, he may not have been given many plays that were that deep. And then he had a lot of. You could see that Marshawn and Hudson were frustrated in the first half because there were a lot of passes that were thrown just behind or just in front of. So Fabian's laughing at me. He's always laughing. So it is what it is. Yeah, he was able to still hit his receiver. But what did I say earlier? 17. So he had 13 incompletions. And this is just 11 of them were mishaps. 2 of them were picks. So it is what it is. Need to use Amari Huggins Bruce's speed more. I don't disagree with you there. I don't. Shawn, I know we didn't give you much. We kind of picked the bones on this, but how do you feel about the game yesterday?
Well, I'll say this for
All right,
one.
let's get to the next point. Just kidding. I'm joking, Shawn.
For one, I'll say that fumble was maybe the biggest play of the game because everybody forgets they were driving. They just scored. It was 10-0, and then they were driving again. And Brennan Armstrong gets the first down, and it's right on the edge of the red zone again. It looks like we're about to go down 13-17-0. And then that big play, I don't remember who got the helmet on the ball, knocked it out. I think MJ Griffin recovered it, but I'm not sure on that. But that play
it was
changed
Tail.
the game. Who? Tail.
Yeah, and Minkins forced it.
How many very clutch tackles did we make from our bellies yesterday? Desmond Tell with a great tackle. Our MJ Griffin with a great one as well. One on that quarterback draw, popped him and then got him on the foot. Look, bless his heart. And I called him the chick from Wendy's earlier because that's who he reminds me of. But the dude was a decent quarterback the last 3 years, and this year you could just see his frustration. He made a lot of, even though he only had 10 incompletions and they were all 10 drops officially scored drops. He didn't quit yesterday. He tried to compete. He just couldn't. Fabian was laughing about when I said if any of us were quarterback, we would get the same results. That's a great question, and we'll get to that in a second. Q, first off, I will not say that on the show. And second off, that's my team. And yeah, so I won't be talking. No, don't laugh at that. None of y'all laugh at that. Stop. Oh, crap. The beep didn't last long. Stop laughing. But all right. River City Entertainment Group with the question of the day so far. Definitely better than Quentin's or Fabian's. Can Satt coaches let's go into let's go to that in a second. I like that question. Players of the game. Stop, Sam. Players of the game. Cooley played well. Marshawn played well. MJ Griffin with a beautiful interception on the sideline. The front seven. I think I've got it offensively. I got to give this player of the game award that is fictitious because we don't have any trophy. Offensively, I'm giving it to Brock. Defensively, I'm giving it to the entire front seven. Just played it 6 yards. 6 sacks, 8 tackles for loss. They're getting that from me. We are going into we're going to get this bye week W. That'll be a 2-week streak without a loss. So that brings us to River City's question. Can Satt coach his way back to fans respecting him? The funny thing about that is I'm not even looking at you, Sam, but I see you over there. If he wins the rest of nobody can say no. If he wins if he goes 6-0 to end the season, we're all going to be elated. We're all going to be like, man, and then when he leaves us for South Carolina at the end of the year, we're going to be pissed at him again. But I think there's a road to him getting our respect back, but it would have to be beat Pitt. I have no idea, but on the FPI, it's 50-49 Wake Forest, the percentage. I don't know, or 51 to 4. No, it's 50.6 to 49.4. They think we have a shot against Wake Forest. I'm not sure why. Hartman will throw for 4,000 yards against us. His receivers can catch. So I'm not sure, but the experts seem to think that we have a chance in every game left this year, except for the Clemson game. So let's say he goes 4-2 or 5-1. Dalton, since I asked Sam first, no, you know what? Let's go to Shawn first. If he goes 4-2 or 5-1, now that ultimately means that 7 wins. He's going to be retained. Are you so much of a prude that you are cheering for 3-3 or 2-4 or 1-5 at this point?
No, because if he wins, I don't care if he stays or not. If he wins, I just want to win. I don't care. And the recruiting class is good, so no. That means he's actually doing something. Something's changed. We're not losing close games the way we've been losing them. We're not losing the teams we shouldn't be losing to. We've beaten the team or a couple teams, or actually a few teams that we're not supposed to beat. How can you go, oh, well, I still don't like him, I'm gone? It means something changed. Because right now, looking at it right now, if nothing changes, I'm sorry, we're not going to go 4-2 even. That Virginia team sucked. Okay, they sucked.
Okay.
So Boston College was maybe marginally better because they've got a receiver. It's an all-world receiver, and a quarterback is actually decent. People forget that. Like, he was really good like 2 years ago before he got hurt. So I'm looking at them like, but they had no offensive linemen. We still lost to them when we shouldn't have. Finally beat a team in Virginia that we should have, but let's be honest, like you said, they dropped a bajillion passes, and a bunch of them could have been first downs or more because we were in zone coverage again. And when we're in zone coverage, we know they get that first down, and suddenly our guys can't tackle, and they get 15 extra yards on it. So if he pulls that out, if he's able to go 6-0, 5-1, 4-2, that means he changed something fundamentally. And that means
that's been our biggest argument all year is that there's been no
change.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Adjustments. Yeah.
Don't talk when I'm talking, Shawn. Adjustments. I'm just kidding. Q, I know you were just kidding. But there's still one person on this panel that wouldn't care if we went 6-0. We went to the ACC championship game somehow, got invited to the playoff, and lost in the national championship game. They still would not care and would not want Scott Satterfield here. So so I asked you this question, Sam, since I just kind of set that up. Is there anything, you answer this guy's question, is there anything for you, because you're one of the, for whatever reason, you're one of the, or not whatever reason, you're one of the more hardcore, less forgiving, just that there is when it comes to Scott Satterfield. So is there anything he can do? Let's not just ask, is there any way he can do, get back to fans respecting him? Because yes, 4 or 5 wins and everybody else is yay. And he's got the class coming in next year. Let's go. What could he do to get you? That's the question. What could he do to get your respect?
4 things.
Oh,
4 things he can.
I'm glad it's not much.
4. One, it's make the adjustment. Admit to being wrong. Admit to being wrong about all of this stuff the last 3 years, 4 years, however, whatever you want to call it. Start to win, and then be consistent. He's not being consistent. He's not being winning. He's been wrong, and he's been stubborn about it the whole time.
Oh, he's been consistent. He's just not been winning.
Consistent. It's been inconsistent. And so, he can't coach his way back to getting any respect from me. He can't coach his way, but he can do some stuff off the field and then on the field as well. But no, I'm not one of those fans that root for us to lose. Hell no. I'm never going to root for us to lose. I want us to win.
There's 3 stages of Louisville fans. There's the ones that have been cheering for us to lose. Sam's right above them, not cheering for us to lose, but if Satt lost the rest of the games, he'd go over and help him move out. And then you got.
I'll help him move out if we win the rest of the games. I'll help him move. I just want him going.
Dalton, what about you? What can he do other than set you up a 401k plan and send you some Dogecoin? What can he do to coach his way back to getting fans to respecting him?
Well, I think Shawn said it the best. It's all about results. I don't care what you change. If what you change doesn't get you the results, it's a moot point. Now going 4-2 and 5-1 would imply that the change, because you would have to make the changes, right? Because if this team right now is not going to go 4-2 and 5-1. Like, there's going to have to be a shift in something. And if you go that way, I think that it's like, okay, well, we'll then start to evaluate it that way. But, all this, I feel like, hypothetically speaking, we haven't had any change in 3.5 years. Are we really good now with his job on the line? Is Scott Satterfield going to feel like, okay, now I have to make a change? But wasn't his job on the line last year too, barring a crazy setback? So maybe he sees this as a last-ditch effort. But look, I mean, I didn't see many changes from yesterday other than you have to start a new quarterback. I felt like we've seen a lot of the same stuff. You just played that bad of an opponent to where it was like, okay, You handle business, but what happens when you play Pittsburgh in 2 weeks? I think that's where you start to really have the conversation because unless something drastically changes, I mean, but to answer your original question, it's all about the results. I don't care what you change. If the changes don't get you results, they don't matter to me.
Absolutely. And again, I don't want to take anything away from Brock because it sounds like we've been doing that the whole day. But Virginia is not good. Pittsburgh's not great, but they start off the year ranked, and we'll have them at home. And there's always, that's probably why we're favored against them. Not a large margin, but, the percentage favorite at that. So, yeah, it's going to be the results. It's going to be, there's just so many questions. I mean, if he goes 5-1, that would warrant him another year. Are the fans?
Let me ask you.
Are the fans just going to piss and moan all year next year?
It's not even close.
Every time
Jeremy, it's not even close. If you go 5-1, I mean, let's think about it. It's not like you're beating South Florida and whoever at the back end of the schedule. No. If you go 5-1, that means you beat, all but one of likely Clemson, Kentucky, NC State, Wake Forest, and Pittsburgh. I mean, that's incredible. That's all we want. Now, did it take a little bit longer to get there? I think if you go 5-1, you get the fan base back because if you show that you can win 5 of the last 6 games with this schedule, it kind of masks over some of the issues that you saw in the first 6 games. Now, something's going to have to change in the offseason. Maybe not Satterfield if you go 5-1 if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But people are going to be very, very more susceptible if you win the last 5 of the last 6 and go 8-4.
It's going to raise a lot of questions, though. Like the question, where has
he
this
doesn't
been?
get fired though.
No, he doesn't.
8-4.
But people like me would ask the question, where has this been? Why wasn't the changes or the adjustments made sooner? Like, what took you so long? And that's the question.
And you also have to stay with those adjustments going into the next year.
Exactly. But do y'all think that Pitt defense is complicated to solve?
No.
I mean, they have players on that defense. Look, Pittsburgh's been underachieving very, very much, and I don't think it's really a matter of defense for them. When I've watched them, it's their offense. Pat Narduzzi's going back to the old Barry Switzer Oklahoma offenses minus the wishbone, just straight I formation. It's like they don't trust Keaton Slovis to go out there and win the games like they did Kenny Pickett for the past 12 years when he was there. So, I mean,
I'm interested to see how either Lance Taylor, Scott Satterfield, I'm interested to see how they game plan for the Pitt defense because we all know Pitt's going to play man-to-man straight through, mixing with a little bit of zone on third down. But they're going to play straight man-to-man, load the box on first and second down, and then force into third and medium, third and long, and try to blitz you. So I'm interested to see how they game plan for that defense.
Who's that? Who's they?
Lance Taylor, Scott Satterfield.
Lance Taylor's not got anything to do with the offensive calling of the plays. You're just trying to get me going. It is what it is.
No, I didn't say play calling. I said game plan, like the 2 weeks that we have.
Okay. All right. Back to the chat.
Are we favored against the bye week?
We are. I said that's what I just said. We will be on a 2-week non-losing streak, going for 3 against Pitt. West End Wayne says, I do know this. The next football coach of the Louisville Cardinals must be a home run higher on the level of Kenny Payne. That was a home run. I do agree. Who is our quarterback after bye week? Henry wants to know. It's Malik, as long as he's well. Quentin likes Clint Hurt. Clint's very happy with the job he has in Seattle right now. As I told y'all last week, we spoke. He didn't want me to, elaborate on anything, but that he said to just let y'all know he's always going to cheer for Louisville, but he's very happy where he's at. Fabian says we need a football coach that will command respect and make you willing to run through a wall. Yeah, we don't need a nice guy coach. I had a nice guy coach in both high school and college and a douchebag coach. We play better for the douchebag coach. I'll tell you what, when you see in here to ask, do we have a shot at Wake Forest, that means it's time for a new coach. Fabian, I'm going to disagree with you there because for about the last 4 or 5 years, maybe the first 4 years we were in the ACC, Wake was duty water, but Wake's been fairly decent the last few years. So I'm going to disagree with you on that. Better or worse, chances of losing Pierce Clarkson and Owens or Moore Williams, I don't think we're losing anybody. I think I've told y'all this a billion times. These kids are coming here for this. They didn't say, oh, man, I will go play for Golly G. Willick or Scott Satterfield. No, they're like, hey, let me see what deal we can get. Oh, okay, that's money. Yeah, let's do that. Q says, absolutely a chance of losing Moore Williams. No, there is not a chance. Who's Williams? The kid.
That's Aaron Williams, 4-star
okay,
corner.
the defensive kid on Bosco. No.
Yeah.
I believe Ruben and Pierce are bought in figuratively and literally. The rooting to lose is wild. Absolutely. No, we're not going to lose these kids unless somebody comes in. It's going to have nothing to do with our performance. We could be undefeated right now, and it's the stance will be the same. If somebody comes in and doubles our bid, maybe these kids, because I did speak to a couple people that had to do with the NIL offers, and they're not required to. If they agree to one. Of course, they can't officially agree to the next season, but these kids have agreed to deals. If somebody comes in and outbids us, yes, we may lose them, but it's not going to have anything to do with our performance on the field.
This guy right here, man.
Christ.
Sorry, dude. NFL about to come on. You know, just gotta get into uniform.
This guy.
You may be their best player. River City Entertainment Group
Yeah, everybody's hurt.
Pittsburgh,
so.
Wake Forest, James Madison, Clemson, NC State, the Clowns with a K in Lexington. What 3 games can we win to reach a bowl game? We can win James Madison. We can win Pitt. The problem is the 6 ain't gonna keep us set. We have to win 7. It's that simple. When you put the schedule that way, it's very possible looking at that schedule that we're 1-5 in the last 6. So who knows? Q says, but I don't think retaining Satt will help or hurt those chances. I never want the team to lose. Recruit. No, not Demontre. Not recruit better quarterbacks. We've not recruited any quarterbacks since Scott Satt.
No, we have recruited. We've had a
couple signed, but none of them have set foot.
That's what I say. We recruited them. We just didn't get them here.
We did not get another quarterback on campus.
That's not what he said. He said recruited.
No, he's saying getting another. We've recruited 1,000 quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. We did.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying having a better quarterback on campus is what he's saying. And as I was saying, the only kid we got to come on campus, the McCaffrey kid,
T-Web
he quit after a day because he was told he wasn't playing regardless.
We got
T-Web was here.
First class, and then T-Web left because remember he tried to recruit T-Web and Chubba Purdy both.
Yeah,
Chubba Purdy chose Florida State, kept T-Web, and T-Web transferred.
Yeah, neither one. If someone's going to get hurt, I'm going to die hard. And yesterday before the game, I reached out. I was like, "Who's the backup for today?" Nathan McElroy. Who the heck is Nathan McElroy?
A walk-on.
Trinity State champion.
Okay, well, good job. But it is. How many stars do you got, bruh? Okay, there you go.
What's that?
0? I thought it was 2.
Nathan McElroy has starts?
Stars.
No, stars.
Stars.
That's a recruit.
Well, y'all
I
can
think
look
it
it
was.
up. I'm going to talk for a few.
1, 2, I don't know.
I'm a diehard Louisville fan. A lot of losses are coming from our quarterback play. I don't disagree with that, but even the kid we got committed, Chubba Purdy, he left us. Like the kid from Mississippi State, we were recruiting hard. He just has not been able to close the deal on the quarterbacks. Brian says, "Is 5-1 get him an extension, or just let him coach his last year of the contract?" I hope we've learned from this in the past. 5-1, I hope would just let him finish out his contract with next year, and his next year will be the first year that he doesn't have any of Bobby's players on the team. And when you're building, and Demontre, you know this, a lot of other people in the chat know this, to build a college football team, you need at least 5 years to get all the best. And we're barely into year 4. This guy has coached 42 games, and we're expecting him to be Nick Saban. He's not, even though Ron Cooper beat Nick Saban. And y'all gonna stop crapping on my coach because he had one bad season. So get off his nuts. Fabian says Satterfield can't even win 3 in a row. He has never done that. Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know that either.
Pretty damning.
Hey, Shawn, can you look up his first season for me? I don't just.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't,
what I say. Like, I don't know about that.
I don't know that if that's true or not. I take your word for it, Roger. There's no way he can coach his way back. He's just not a defensive-minded coach. Brian Dixon says Tom Herman. I think. Can y'all explain to me why you think that old Tom Herman would be a good fit here?
Apparently, he's got some off the field
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That
Average Honky.
there's,
It's our guy, Average Honky. What up, Honky? Yes, these recruits are coming for the bag, not for Satterfield. We had the Khalib Johnson kid, but he's not on the depth chart. I'm not getting into this. Will CSZ be at Louisville Live 12 days away? We will talk about that in just a moment. But the thing is, Khalib Johnson.
We did not win 3 games in a row his first year.
Okay.
We did not.
There you go. So we won 8 games and didn't win 3 in a row?
Because of the bowl game.
It was always 2.
Yeah.
It was always 2 in a row and then a loss.
Okay. Khalib Johnson is a serviceable quarterback. He probably will not be here next year for whatever reason. And I've said in the past what the reason is. I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to say it again. But they are coming for the bag and not for all shucks Satterfield. And Khalib Johnson probably will not be playing here next year.
And it's a shame too.
It's a shame because he's a decent quarterback. Fabian says from here on out, he's just going to be positive and just enjoy watching football and trust the administration to make a decision. I truly support our players. Look, that's all we can ask for, man. I remember when I was on the team, our first year, mine and Ivan and Chris's freshman year, I think we went 1-10. Jesus. But that was the foundation year for what set up for John L. Smith and for Chris's greatness here and for Ivan's greatness here and for me to be a podcast host 20 years from then. It set all that up for that. So, yes, support the kids. That's all I've been talking about. And people are like, no, the only way to let them know a change needs to be made is to not show up to the games. They're going to make a change at the end of the year. You not coming to the game just going to piss the players off. They're going to tell the recruits
future players
because these people are fair weather fans, and we're going to lose everything. So support these players. And Henry, I'm going to speak his comment, even though I loathe him at this point. But he says a lot of fans want Urban Meyer. I do not want Suburban Meyer.
Who's a lot?
Like, who else going to say? Like, who the hell is a lot?
No, he on the Cardinal Authority boards. The only reason I know this is because somebody posted a screenshot of it yesterday.
I saw that.
And he was at the top of the list. So I do not want Suburban Meyer. He can stay wherever he's at.
Somebody put Art Briles on the list. Art
Briles was on the list.
My gosh, like that. Did you just
are
wake up after a 15-year hiatus?
People
are we scraping the bottom of the barrel now? That's what it is.
Or do you understand why Baylor got to the point to where they are?
Freddie Krueger was on the list. I mean, if that tells you anything about the character of the people on the list. Message, but yeah, Henry, I knew it was from the message board. Justin, what's good, bro? So no, I don't think things are magically fixed. I think that best case scenario, 3-3. I think we go 2-4 to finish the season, but we could get 3-3. Either way, unless there are serious adjustments made. And I'm rooting. Look, y'all know Sam knows better than anybody. I have been rooting for this guy to succeed the entire last 4 seasons. I want him to succeed. Seems like a great dude. He's always been good to me. His wife's always been good to me. I want him to succeed. But he's going to have to make a change. I saw somebody earlier mention Clint Hurt being the head coach. What if he was able to talk Clint Hurt into coming in and getting head coach money as our defensive coordinator? Like there's so many things. I'll take Michael Myers. Teams will fear us. Pretty sure. Garrett Riley is head coach. Vance Bedford is defensive coach. It's a little too early for y'all to be drinking.
And
Hey,
smoking.
whoa. What's wrong with Garrett Riley?
Didn't say anything was wrong with him. We're not going to get him. Who do you want as coach? Dave Ragone, Urban Meyer, Scott Satterfield, Clint Hurt, Tom Herman. Okay.
Can we go realistically or just whatever?
Listen, I'm not going to go either way because as of right now, there's not a list. I don't want to make a list and feed into this ignorance. Dave Ragone, I like him. Urban Meyer, it's a big no, just because his off the field issues. Satterfield, I've told you about Clint Hurt, my conversations with him. I don't want Tom Herman. I don't know who I would want. But for those out there that are cheering for Jeff Brom, y'all need to hope that we don't lose, we don't fire him before the season's over, because I was told that would be a big distraction for him doing what he was doing up at Purdue, and that he would not consider it if we fired him. So if that's the guy you want, I just want to I know this is not going to happen, but I just want to take it back to back in the days. Like, first off, we are not Alabama. We are not Georgia. We are a 25 to 40th ranked football program. And guess what? When I was growing up, we were like the 100 to 110. It was so fun going to those games because win or lose, you had a good time. You didn't act like your life was over if we lost the game. You celebrated if we won. That's what I want back. And I know what you'll say. Well, you're okay with being mediocre. It's a freaking game. If they win or lose, it does not mean I've got less money in my pocket. It does not mean that my mom gets weller or sicker. It's a freaking game. So, no, I don't know who I want as coach. At this point, Barney could be the head coach. As long as he wins games, I'll be good. Tom Herman has off-the-field stuff, says Average Honky. I don't know if he'll be coaching anytime soon. I do like Dave Ragone. I think Brom would do well. Also Fabian, because it would be a Kenny, like West End Wayne said, it'd be a Kenny Payne type hire. I said we beat out everybody else left on the schedule, and we keep Satt. Things turned around. Okay, I'm not going to agree with that. Satterfield has a better record than Wonder Boy Brom. Hurt makes like $1 million a year as DC. Look, this is the last time I'm going to, and I'm not angry or anything. I've talked to Clint Hurt. I've told y'all what he said. I'm not going to be addressing him as a candidate anymore until January, when his season's over and our season's over, because he's happy where he's at. They've got a good thing going. It is what it is. Good luck to Kenny Pickett today. Feels like he's going to spend a lot of time on his back. Shut up. Hey, who can kick him out of this group chat? Really quick, and we're going to get off here because we're supposed to be done by now, but y'all keep playing. Louisville Live's coming up. We got a big weekend. It's the 20th is Louisville Live. The 21st is Homecoming versus Pitt, and the 22nd is the red-white scrimmage. Get out. If you want to complain, if you want to earn the right to complain and piss and moan, get out and support these kids. That is a huge weekend in Louisville athletics. Get out there, support them. Dalton, you've got the visitor list for Louisville Live. Who do we have so far? I know we've got like 1 billion 5 stars.
Yeah, I got a handful of top guys. 2023 seems like it's just AJ Johnson. There are rumors that Caleb Glenn might be on campus, but I'm not sure. I can't confirm that. It's 2024 is where a lot of the excitement comes from. There's 3 top 10 players. Carter Bryant, Elliot Cadeau, and then Carter Knox, the younger brother of Kevin Knox. Then you have 2 other 5 stars in Trenton Flowers and Jamari Phillips. So 5 possible 5-star caliber players on campus for the 2024 class. 3 of those being in the top 10. It's some big time recruiting momentum.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is why we wanted Kenny Payne. This is already a better Louisville Live lineup recruit wise than we've ever had. Even the year where, oh God, what was the kid from Jay Scrub and Caleb Love when they were here? This is a better lineup than that. And those were some good players. Rito said, what did you call Tom Herman? I said what I said. I love the fairgrounds. Tailgates was awesome. No problem getting to the games. That's because nobody was there. And I loved it. If shock everybody and go get Will Stein, I'm going to hang up on you. Quentin says, I talked to Quincy yesterday. He said he's fine. Just got the wind knocked out of him. Yeah, that's what his mom said last night. We upset Pitt that weekend on top of everything else. I love it. Scrimmage is Sunday the 23rd. Yeah, that's what the Friday is Friday's Louisville Live. Saturday is the football game, and Sunday is the red-white scrimmage. I really hope we get AJ and Carter. I think we get one of them. Go Bills. Aaron, you're being hung up on. I haven't heard a lot on Miranda. We're going after them full steam, so you will soon. I hope we get the upset on Pitt that weekend. Me too. Again, let's buy those Louisville Live tickets. If you can't afford Louisville Live tickets, hit me up. I'll buy a couple of Louisville Live tickets. I want to fill that place up. Let's get to rapid fire real quick. We'll end this so I can watch the Steelers play and lose. Number 11 men's soccer won 2-0 against. My God. Remember, Higgy is responsible for all the rapid fire stuff. So apparently, the number 11 men's soccer team beat Note Adams 2-0. Note Adams. I'm sure that's Notre Dame.
That's Notre Dame, yeah.
Because he's a buffoon. Volleyball swept Boston College. Women's swimming finished third, and men's finished fifth at the SMU Classic. Donovan Mitchell surprised both basketball teams with new Don Issue 4 swag, and softball picks up 2 fall wins over EKU, and they play the Clowns from East today. Let's see. Yeah, so if we've learned one thing today, it's you should have already known it. It's that Higgy is illiterate.
I would just hand it and put it in Shedicus' hand and hand it to him.
I swear.
Well. Shedicus.
And then where's the other one at? I need to find the other one. I want to play that for y'all before we get off here. Yeah! Okay, that's pretty appropriate.
Wait, we was talking about the song, right?
No, that's not it either.
Okay, just making sure.
Where the heck is it? Which one is it on? I'm stopping this. Oh, okay. Found it. I know this is bad radio. I don't care. Here we go.
I'm legit.
Gosh, dang it, Wes.
Why didn't you come today with some of those sandwiches?
I'm getting
You know what?
That came from church, so I had God's word in my mouth before.
And that's what we're missing by Higgy not being here. We have no new sound bites. We just got to play word and mouth and Shedicus over and over and over again. Pierce Clarkson is officially out for a week with a mild concussion. Prayers for a speedy recovery. Yeah, I was watching the game. I didn't really see a hit hard enough, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Prayers are out to him. I let his dad know yesterday that we were all here praying for him. Okay, I'm not responding to Quentin anymore. Jeff Walls has a squad. They will finish the season in Dallas. Exciting season for basketball. KP for Coach of the Year. Okay, I'd like that. Back-to-back muffed kick returns by the Steelers. I'm not watching yet. You know what? If you get off on the Steelers paying, then you do what you do. Rito says Lamar about to bounce back today. And Justin says, has anyone heard about Riley? Yeah, we were able to confirm that he's good. His mom said he came back like 2 plays later and finished the game out. It's hard to see who's when they do those overview camera overviews. The way they did yesterday, you couldn't see the back of any of our jerseys on defense, which probably was a good thing because that would have meant we'd been getting scored on. Shout out to all of our fine sponsors: Fitness Market, Shack in the Back, 4 Pegs, Smokehouse and Bar, Derby City Lawn and Landscaping, and we're working on more. If you'd like to sponsor the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, just shoot me a DM at Jeremy_CSZ. Individually, you can find Sam on Twitter at
Baseboy124.
Shawn
At Elville Shawn.
Dalton
At Dpence_.
Deepens_.
Dpence_.
There you go. Hit any of us up. We'll be able to help you out as far as sponsorship opportunities are concerned. On social media, you can find our social medias at the bottom of the page, or bottom of the screen right now, along with the ways to support the podcast. The more y'all contribute to the team, the more of these we can do. And with the bye week coming up, I'm not really sure we'll have what to do this week unless something big happens. Which, oh God, now that I've said that, that's probably when the IERP ruling will come out. So. We'll talk to y'all Thursday night about that. I'm just kidding. Please, nobody take that serious. Again, you can find us on social media at the bottom of the screen at Twitter and Instagram. We're at Card Sports Zone. Facebook is Cardinal Sports Zone. And on YouTube, it says Cardinal Sports Zone, one word. But right now, it's Cardinal Sports Zone 55 because they had to unassign our YouTube for some reason while they're making updates. Don't know is what it is. You can find this podcast on all the podcast avenues, 125 in all. Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, and iHeart, to name a few. Hit follow, subscribe, stalk, shadow, whatever it is on each of the ones. Make sure that you are linked up with the podcast. If you've not listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, do us a favor. Go back to cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began, and check them all out. You can hit the podcast drop-down menu, select CSZ Podcast, and listen to them from there. Shout out to everybody that's out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to our guys Marcus and Steve that hold it down every day from 10 to noon on ESPN 93.9 The Ville. All right. Any last words? We'll go to the chat line first. My God. CSZ, get with me. I will help you grow for free. Louisville got any surprise ball players showing up that we don't know? I'm getting the list. I don't have it yet. They don't know everybody. Quentin wants to know if you want to take his grandma out to bingo tonight, Shawn.
That's all that one.
Hitting like
She's
the share
breathing.
button. Justin says he wants to see if your grandma's hot first. So send him a picture. Thanks for all the valuable info, Jeremy. Appreciate you guys. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Any last words? Sam, I'll let you go first. And not for any other reason, but your array of
Sunshine.
array of sunshine.
Sunshine. Yep, I already knew. No, I don't get no. I mean, other than go Cards. Enjoy the bye week. Hopefully, we get healthy, and let's have some fun.
We're not losing this week. That's the most important thing. Dalton?
Get healthy.
I ain't got anything. Let's go.
Let's go. Shawn?
Let's just,
What are you gonna follow
let's make
this
the
week?
adjustments. Let's beat the bye week, okay? We can't have no close bye week. This has to be a total
It's
destruction.
going to be a decisive, dominating bye week.
Mark it. Mark the bye week.
Are you going to fall over anything this week, Shawn?
I hope not, but you never know.
You should fall over a girl.
Oh, I'll fall into it. Never mind.
I fall into one is even better.
I'll get a little personal here, just real quick. Make sure, we've said this before, but make sure you appreciate the people that you love. You're around them. You never know when life can be taken. You never know when. I mean, I've been struggling here the last couple of months with, my nieces. They're all 14, 15, and 16 now, and I don't see them anymore. And that's a struggle because I raised them pretty much 2 out of the 3 I was there along the way for 2 out of the 3 of them, and then not to see any of them. Appreciate, instead of complaining to them about not seeing them, just I'm trying to appreciate the time I do get with them. So love everybody. Don't take anybody for granted. It is what it is. Did Shawn get the grandmother pick yet?
God.
I don't know. Hey, Quentin, we appreciate you too, my man. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, I'm going to go ahead and push the correct button. No. This one here, it's the outro button. We appreciate you all. We will get you. We don't know when the next show is going to be. If we have one this week, it'll be Thursday. Yeah. So we will. We'll get back with y'all though, because bye weeks are hard to. Maybe we can do a theme show this week. We'll put our heads together and try to figure something else out. Thanks again for all the support. Love you guys. Until next time, this has been the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Shawn did not get the grandmother pick yet. And Dalton left. You know what?
Dalton jumped out. He's got to go watch his
Nobody invited him
Cards
to the
get
podcast
murdered.
today anyway. Mother.
Oh, block field goal.
Now I'll look like a. All right, y'all, we're out. He's thinking about bingo daubers. Hey, for real, get him your grandma's pick. He will harm her. No, I'm just kidding. Love you guys. We're out.